Thank you and welcome. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Derek and this is my channel Paint Your Lifestyle, where I quit my 9-to-5 to pursue my dreams of traveling the world. Now on that topic, I want to share with you guys currently my most favorite country right now, which is El Salvador. And if you've heard, it's gone through a lot of changes for the better. It's gone through a lot of violence, but right now it has progressed in a direction where I couldn't be more proud to talk about this country and share with you guys all the fun things you can now do in this country. Before I even get started, I also created a few different other travel guides revolving of different countries. You can check that below. And also I do have a travel guide on my website, paintyourlifestyle.com, where you can download a tangible travel guide on this country right now, and that is a great way to support this channel and my website. You can find that in the link description below, or just look on paintyourlifestyle.com. Now jumping right in, I'm gonna cover a bunch of different topics, you know, flying there, where to go, where to stay, what to eat, your destinations, and it's all gonna be lumped sum into this one video. So I had the pleasure of coming to this country last year and I had such amazing time. I spent around 7 to 8 days really just traveling through with the tourism board. I flew from LAX to the San Salvador airport. On arrival, visas, if you're not aware, visa on arrival is about $12. When we talk about like getting around, what do? Do you need to take an Uber? Do you need like your own taxi? Do you need your own personal driver? There are certain ways to get around. I definitely recommend renting a car, and you can rent a car as low as $12 a day. I found it on Kayak right now, or you can go at the airport where there's tons of different deals, but it's very economic for you to rent a car instead of just having to rely on Uber everywhere. Even though the country's small, I do recommend having your own set of wheels to drive around, because by the end of this video, I'm gonna take you along the country and show you different things you need to do that's going to require you to have your own set of wheels. So there's two main parts of El Salvador that most people stay. There's San Salvador, the capital, and then there's El Tunco, or Surf City, which is the coastal part. Most people just fly into San Salvador and they stay in El Tunco. That's totally fine. But I want to recommend two places that I stayed at. That's one in San Salvador and that one is in El Tunco. So if you're planning to stay in San Salvador, obviously it's not a must, but this is just a really nice place that I had the pleasure of staying with. And this is the Hyatt-centric San Salvador, and it's running about $200 a night. Again, you don't have to stay here. This is just my personal recommendation. You can find plenty of other places for $50 a night, $4 a night, $60, whatever your budget is. But this was my budget. And the Hyatt-centric San Salvador is actually a really great destination to kind of stay, really relax, get your feet up. And there's also like a lobby, bar, there's a co-working space, and a lot of opportunity to meet other people that are traveling through, digital nomads, you know, people in tech. I found a lot of these people in these spaces in this hotel. And now for El Tunco, or Surf City, this is actually a really beautiful part of El Salvador, a very coastal part, complete 360 if I may say. This place that I stayed at is the Roca Sanzal. It's running about $140 a night. Again, that's also pretty steep too, but this is kind of where you're like right next to the action, because in this part of El Tunco, it's like a strip of markets, restaurants, bars, whatever. You kind of want to be, you don't really want to be as close to that as possible. Like being as close to the action is also a great place to be when you're in this area. Again, there are plenty of other options that are cheaper, $40, $50, $60, but this is just where I stayed, where I had access to restaurants, bars, the markets right below me. Even there was a pool. You know, I had a lot of access to a lot of different things at this certain location, and I thought it was a great fit for where I was staying during my time at El Tunco. So during your trip, you probably need to eat something. You're not pretty familiar with El Salvadorian food. I want to say in El Tunco, they're pretty open to like a lot of good, healthy foods, a lot of fresh foods. I'm not too sure about like vegan food or vegetarian food, but they have a lot of like healthy, nutritious foods that are freshly made. Where I was staying, I had like a plethora of different types of meals, and it was very colorful. You know, like you have your potatoes, your eggs, your bacon, and also, you know, American food, Western food, whatever. It was pretty open. Wasn't just like strictly El Salvadorian food, but what I want to say is you definitely want to take advantage of eating the pupusas there. Those are really delicious. They run for as like low as $1 to also support your local small businesses over there. Place that I want to recommend, I don't really see much people talk about, and it's not a required, but it's just a really nice place. BETOS. BETOS is a very upscale restaurant. If you ask anybody about BETOS, just tell them you're looking for BETOS. They'll put you in the right direction. There's a couple of different chains of BETOS around El Salvador. The closest one in El Tunco. You're gonna definitely need a car to get there. And why this place is actually really great and why I recommend it is not just for the food, it's for the aesthetic, the ambiance, the view. It's a really beautiful place. When I was there, at least, I don't know if it's still a thing, like I just noticed everybody was in white. So it's kind of like it's not only like a luxury type of food that you're eating, but it's also a certain type of dress code you have to bring to the table. So I think that's a great opportunity to kind of like wine and dine, you know, maybe take your wife, your girlfriend, or even like a family. Really great to take them here and just eat lobster, fish, king crabs, and also enjoy a beautiful view at this place, BETOS. And another place that I really like that I had the opportunity of getting to is this area called Rutas de las Flores. This restaurant specializes in meat. El Jardín Celeste, I'm probably butchering it, but that is the name of the restaurant. I love this place so much because they cooked the meat just right. Like it just melted in my mouth. You know, I had like potatoes, veggies, and of course they made it right in front of me. It was so good I had to even walk up to the kitchen and ask them like, yo, like who made this dish? This is like amazing. So this is one of my favorite places because also it has like a very family friendly vibe going on. It's more surrounded by nature than it is by the sea. Beautiful place. There's also like a small souvenir shop on your way out. Definitely want to take advantage of visiting the spot to support the local business there. Great foods, great vibe. Another place I highly recommend. So we're at the meaty part of this video where we talk about the destinations. This is like the best part of the video where I'm going to describe to you and tell you the fun things you can do while you're in El Salvador. And I want to start with Taminique waterfalls, guys. All right. Let me just say, if you have bad knees, this is probably not the place for you. I have bad knees. I've said it multiple times on this channel, but I still did it anyways for the culture. So Taminique waterfalls, you're going to have to get a guide. You can't do this without a guide because it's just that dangerous. A guide has to escort you down and up the hill. And to enter this excursion, it's about $10. I went down there. The hike was a bit hard going down versus coming back up. Again, if you have bad knees, I do not recommend this hike for you. But at the end of the hike, your reward is you get to swim in this really cold water, amazing waterfalls, tropical views, and there's about 3 more steps, 3 more different type of waterfalls above. Please hike at your discretion. Please be safe, because any wrong slip, you can just fall and crack your head open, and that's something we don't want. This is something definitely worth it if you just take your time. This is definitely a great place to kind of just really break into the country and experience just the entry of what El Salvador has to offer. I really like this place, and I definitely recommend more people to check it out. And now this is where like having a car really takes place. You know, like I said, if you want to get a car, I definitely recommend having a rented car, because even though the country's small, most of the destinations you'll be going to is between San Salvador and El Tunco. This place is called Nawi Beach. Amazing place. My goodness, this is one of my favorite places to do. So there's 2 things you can do here. You can just come for a day. You don't even have to stay here. You can come for a day, get a day pass. Again, and also if you want access to these places, I will put links in the description below to most of the places that I've been to. Some of them may not have like a website, but most of them have like a Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below so you can have access to these places that I went to. Nawi Beach is an amazing resort that rivals a lot of different hotels I've been to around the world. So again, if you just want to go here for the day, that's totally fine. You can get a day pass for $20. You can have access to their gym. They have like a outdoor gym. You can ride the horses. You can chill on the sands with the infinity pool. You can have a drink at the bars, and then like above the bar is kind of like this this bungee rope thing. I don't know what it's called, but you can hang up there and just chill. A lot of things to do, or just come down there and just relax for the day. You know, you should not miss going to Nawi Beach, because this is a staple in this part of the country. Also, again, if you plan on staying, I recommend you doing the tree houses. That's something that's very new that they implemented. It is a little bit steep. It's about $400 a night, but it's totally worth it. It has this very Bali aesthetic thing going on, and the houses are literally brand new, made out of bamboo, you know, a very jungle feel. You wake up with an amazing view. It's definitely giving like a couple's retreat, you know, or you can just be there by yourself. It's totally fine. But this is a place I recommend as well. I had the pleasure of being here for the night, and it was amazing. It was amazing to be able to relax in such a jungle place all to myself and just really absorb being present in this part of El Salvador. Now, if you're feeling curious about the country, I want to extend this next destination called Nauizalco. And it's one of my favorite parts of the country because this part is where you learn most of the country's history, where the country started, where the language even began. Because if you don't know, currently they do speak Spanish, but that's not the original language of El Salvador. The original language is called Nahuatl, and Nauizalco has a special museum where they keep all their history right there for everyone to read, consume, and enjoy, and just learn a little bit more and connect with these people on a deeper level. I definitely want to recommend Nauizalco to you guys to just look at, check it out. Immerse yourself with the people, talk to people, you know, buy food from the locals, check out the market, but also check out that museum to really learn about the history of this country. And that's kind of where I learned, like, not only do they keep that history all intact, they also have special language classes for the children, teaching them the original language of Nahuatl, and that's something I would recommend you guys to take part of when you come to this part of El Salvador. Nauizalco, one of my favorite places to check out in El Salvador. Next is another town called Apenca. Apenca is pretty small, but the main thing that I got out of this was not only just to check out the area, but there is a lake that was a volcano. You want to be able to rent like a go-kart to take this route up to the lake, and this lake is called Laguna Verde. So again, it's a volcano turned lake, and this area is protected by the police because they value and treasure this part of the country. It's protected by their government, so please, you know, don't make a mess. Just observe, check it out, and be on your way. Renting the go-karts was definitely one of my favorite parts because it gives you access to really see this small town on some wheels versus your own feet, and you get to cover the ground a lot quicker than you could on your own 2 feet. So definitely, if you're going to be in Apenca, try to rent the go-karts so you can have access to see this town on the wheels, and then make your way up to Laguna Verde at the very top, and then make your way down with the go-kart, giving you a better visual look at this small town. Now, one of my favorite places is Cafe Albania. There is about a couple different spots, but this spot is very close to Apenca. Entry is about $10, maybe $12, somewhere around there. And what this place is probably one of the most popular places in the country. It's the reason why people come to El Salvador to experience this place in particular. When I was there, I met a bunch of different other foreigners, even other Americans from the East Coast, that said they saw this place on TikTok, and that is the reason why they came to El Salvador now to experience this place, Cafe Albania. There's nothing to compare, it's its own entity, but like once you get in, again, you have to pay like an entry fee between $10 or $12, something like that, and then there's a bunch of different activities inside of Cafe Albania. There's like a bungee jumping, there's like a maze, there's like a bike riding in the sky. I don't know what these official names are, but there's tons of activities that range from $1 to $10 that you can experience all at this place. You do not want to miss this place, because if you do, you're doing yourself a disservice on how much fun you'll actually have. I love this spot, and I want you to enjoy it just as much as I did. Now, moving forward just a little bit more, again, you're gonna have to take your car, and this is not a place I would say you have to check out, but this is a place that is a must-see. It is very unique in its own way. This place is called Lago De Coatepeque. It's another volcano crater, but this is like the biggest one in the country, guys. This is like huge. Like, it's so wide that it's so wide my drone could even capture on live film. Another area you want to stay in for like maybe a day or two. And this all depends on your timing. You know, there's a lot of different places to hit. Most people come for El Salvador for maybe like a weekend, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I don't know. It really depends, you know, how you want to travel, and you have to pick and choose what you want to see. Lago De Coatepeque is pretty much an establishment surrounded by this crater lake of businesses like hotels, restaurants, boat cruises, hostels. Lots of new businesses are really in this space right here. And like I said, people come, or even locals come for the weekend and just spend some time here. What I did was I took advantage of the jet skis, and I was able to kind of just like have an hour to myself, just jet skiing in the water, really just chilling, nothing too crazy. I didn't really spend time here at the hotels or hostels or even like the restaurants, more so just like the boat cruises and the jet skis is something I really took advantage of in this area. But if you've never been to this place or even been inside of a volcano turned into lake, this is a place I would even just drive to just to check out. Now, this is another place that I really love. I had a great time here. This is Casa 1800 Cerro Verde, and this is one of the more luxury hotels that are on the volcano. If you're planning to hike Santa Ana volcano, you definitely want to stay at Casa 800 because they go hand in hand together. This place is very far. It's not a place where you can go from like San Salvador to Casa or to Santa Ana. How you should do it is you want to get a place at Casa 800 so that you can have access to the hike next door, because they're both on the same hill. This place is really far. Definitely do your due diligence of learning how to get there with the car or even asking around before you get here. But Casa 800 is an amazing spot where, again, it feels like a couple's place, or even you can be there by yourself or, you know, with a partner, whatever, however you want to do it. It's amazing, beautiful place. Have your own living room, have your own bed, lots of cable television, movies, whatever, big restroom, new furniture, and the outside balcony, depending on the time of the day, you can see the volcano. You're gonna see a different volcano. It's not the same one. That was one of my favorite spots in Casa 800. Also, they have a whole cafeteria inside of the building and restroom. Really amazing spot, really amazing spot. And this is going for $174 per night. It is a bit steep, but it's totally worth it, I promise you. And again, like I said, Casa 800 goes hand in hand with the Santa Ana volcano hike, which is highly recommend. It's not that bad. I would say it's like a medium level-ish. If you have bad knees, I would also stay away from this too. But again, I did see like a woman in her like 90s really just killing it. Really made me and my group look kind of bad at that moment, because she was just really just Sonic the Hedgehog us. She just walked past us like it was nothing. I think this is the first time I actually hiked a volcano, so that was like a bucket list for me. Once you reach the top, you are going to smell the sulfur, which smells like rotten eggs, and that is an indication that you made it to the top. So congratulations to you if you get that far. This is also a great opportunity to have drone shot. It becomes surreal in that moment. You're in the corners of a volcano. So yeah, I had a great time here. I definitely recommend for anybody that's also into hiking. This is a great opportunity to hike this volcano. It's not that bad. And entry is about $6 to do this hike. Next, I want to talk about Carman Estate. It is a coffee bean factory. I had the pleasure of seeing it being made firsthand. This is a very seasonal thing that they do. You can also enroll to take a tour. I can put a description below to have access to enroll in a tour. Very informative. At the end of this tour, as I show you everything of how they make their coffee and their beans, you get to try the coffee at the very end and see if you like it. And they make it old-fashioned way, not the modern way how we used to make it. I'm not a coffee person, but I did try it and it was pretty good. So that's something for your coffee lovers. This is a very great opportunity to do a coffee bean tour. Try it up front, try their coffee beans, see how it tastes, see if you like it. And then at the end, also, you can take some with you back home. And not too far away is a place called Ataco. It's a small town. I would also consider it the most beautiful town, or actually the most colorful town in El Salvador. Nothing too crazy. It's fully recommend. It's just one of those landmarks where you can just pass through for the day. Lots of markets, lots of souvenirs. There's a huge church in the center. There's also like in the city center, there's also a lot of things going on as far as like street food vendors, games, music, dancing. Really nice town. And also you have access to the local buses that take you around the town, and also to like viewpoint at the very top of the town where you can see a overview of the entire town with a giant cross. That is definitely a landmark you should check out if you plan to hit up Ataco. And last but not least, the most popular spot in El Salvador, in my opinion, is the Picnic Steakhouse. Again, just like how people come from all over the world for Cafe Albania, people come all over the world to go to this place. And not just for the food, which is totally great, but for the rainbow slide, which is $5 to try. This is one of those fun things you gotta do. Like, you can't go to El Salvador and not take a part of this slide. I love this slide because I've never been on something like this before. It's something I only really see on like Mario Kart. Definitely take advantage of the food at Picnic Steakhouse, but also don't forget to have fun at the end of the day and enjoy this rainbow slide. This is very fun. This was like a very high point for me in my whole entire trip, and I felt like a kid again riding this slide. I have a travel guide on El Salvador on my website. You can click the link below to have access to this website. This will help my channel and also my website. If you purchase it, it is helping me a lot. I put a lot of detailed information that I may have skipped in this video, but if you want a copy PDF file, I think it's about like 18-20 pages of this country in the travel guide, please help my platform, my work, and purchase a copy below. I would really appreciate it. Again, this is the El Salvador travel guide. I want to say, if you've gotten this far, thank you so much. I had a great time in this country. It is the most underrated country thus far, and I am so happy for the direction of this country and where it's going. I cannot wait to return again, and I cannot wait to see you guys experience the country the way I did. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Give it a like if you liked it. Share with a friend. If someone's interested in going to this country and needs all information possible, it would really help my channel grow. And I will see you guys in my next travel guide. Thank you so much. My name is Derek. Take care. Peace.